Hello and welcome to Body and Spirit, a Buddhist approach to physical and mental health. My name is Anthony MacGregor, I'm your host, and today we have with us Tom Radzienda, who is a Reiki master, and we're going to be talking about Reiki today. Reiki is a spiritual healing practice that was developed in 1922 by a Japanese Buddhist called Mikao Usui. It works, so its proponents claim, by the transfer of healing energy or ki through the palms of the hands of the healer to the person in need of healing. It's a controversial alternative medicine, and its critics claim that there is absolutely no scientific evidence that it works, while its defenders, of course, claim there is abundant evidence that it works. Now, Tom has been a Reiki master since 2005. He has written an impressive book called Personal Transformations Through Reiki, which delves into the nature of healing as a kind of personal growth. He has just completed this book, so it's not available right now, but I have seen a copy of the manuscript. Tom, you're aware of all the controversies surrounding Reiki. Maybe you could give us a brief definition of Reiki in your words, and also why you are convinced that it works.
Well, Reiki is universal energy in the same sense. In India you have prana, in Chinese thought you have qi, like in Tai Chi, qigong. So although we can say it was discovered 100 years ago by a Japanese doctor, actually human beings have known about this for thousands of years. So it's not like it just came since the First World War. And bringing it up to the present, I wouldn't say I believe in it, Tony. It's something that I do every day. In the same way that Buddhists meditate. It's not that they believe in meditation, that is the day-to-day practice of what we do. So when I have students and clients coming over 3, 4, 5 times a week, it's not as if we say, well, I believe this, I believe that. We just go ahead and do it. It's not a theory, it's not a philosophy, it's a practice. And we get very good feedback from it. Very good. I hesitate to say results, because then I slip into the paradigm of cause and result, and I don't think it's quite that simple. But I know a lot of people that come to see me feel better.
I see, And is that what convinces you that it works? Is because of your experience and observations of the patients?
Yes, because so many people report so many things. Either they're sleeping better, their menstrual symptoms are not so painful, their elimination problems are past, their migraines have passed, they're happier with their work, getting along better with their mothers, they've been encouraged to change jobs. Now a lot of people could say, what's that got to do with Reiki? Because I'm not claiming A causes B, that come to me, I give you Reiki, I solve all your problems. It's more, as we open up to things, be it energy or Buddhism, Reiki or God, we become empowered to do all the things that we want to do. And that's healthy.
Yes, all right. Does Reiki have a Buddhist connection? Are you a Buddhist, Tom?
It's tricky because it's putting me into a box. Because if I'm a Buddhist, then I can't be a Christian, I can't be a Hindu, I can't be a vegetarian. I practice Buddhism all the time. If you look around the house, you'll see Buddhist images, we make offerings. But I wouldn't put myself in the category of a Buddhist. I would say I practice Buddhism. Meditation all the time, mindfulness practice, hopefully from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, which is not always the case. I've read widely in Buddhism. My wife practices Buddhism, so it's very much a part of our lives.
There is a link between Reiki and Buddhism, correct? Through the monk who rediscovered it or formalized it?
That might be tricky, Tony, because if we went to the abbot of the big temple in Bangkok, he might say, we have nothing to do with that. In the same way that the followers of Christian church would say, oh, you can't do that. So I don't know that Buddhism would embrace Reiki. But as a Reiki master, the first hour of every session that I teach is practicing Vipassana meditation, observing the breath, observing the sensations of the body. When the mind wanders off, you call it back. Start getting involved in your feelings, let them go, and bring it back.
So you actually do that before you give a Reiki session? You do a Vipassana?
Well, when I'm teaching somebody, we'll sit here for 3 hours. The first hour is meditation and talking about the energies of the body and practicing sensing things.
I see, yeah.
When I have somebody coming by to lay down for a healing, then I will meditate before they come in.
Yeah.
Because that clears my mind. I'm no longer thinking, oh, I have to talk to my mom, or worried about my brother, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm in the present moment.
I see.
So when they come in, I have a warm, natural smile already. I'm not worried about my own luggage.
Okay.
I'm focusing on helping somebody else.
I see, yeah. You said in your book, Tom, that the universe is more like a great thought than a great machine. Do you believe that thought plays a big role in the healing process?
Absolutely. The quote that I put in there comes from some British guy from the 1920s talking about it's all about consciousness. And I absolutely find that to be the case. And it's all about thought. I can't prove that. I could not sit here and give you a mathematical formula to show that. It's just when you start believing it, it starts becoming more real. As it becomes more real, it gives you feedback that, yes, this is the way it works. Now people can discard that as saying it's belief, as if belief is something bad or something wrong with belief. Belief is incredibly powerful. Whatever you believe in, it becomes powerful.
Yeah. There are actually other religions that practice healing through touch, through human touch. Christianity, for instance, has a process whereby the elders of the church lay their hands on a sick person and pray for his healing. And of course Christ, if the Bible is to be believed, has many examples of healing through touch. How can you be sure that it's the key, the energy flowing in the universe that is actually healing? Like the Christians would have a different explanation. They would say it's the power of God that has healed that person. You know?
That's great. If we call it the power of God, or we call it palang, or energia, or energy, or bioplasmic energy, or pneuma, that the ancient Greeks call it. No matter what you call it, we show that there is some type of intervention, even if we cannot comprehend it. If a Christian can lay the hands on another Christian and they feel better, they can walk again, or they can clear that blockage in their stomach or in their heart, great. If I call it Reiki, fine. We go to China and they call it Qigong, fine. I don't think we're here to say Reiki is like this and Prana, they're all different and mine is better than yours. I think what we're trying to show is that there's a lot of energy here, and it's not 220 volts AC. It's something, we might call it consciousness, we might call it God, Hindus might call it Om, in Reiki we call it Reiki. There are dozens of different names for it, and it's powerful. And many people flat out deny the existence of anything like this. Fine, you don't have to believe me or anybody else. I can't persuade somebody, you must believe me. Watch, I'll show you. No. If somebody says, well, can you try to help me because I want to try to help myself? Sure. The same as if you come to consult me, how do I grow my garden? You don't come and believe in me. You come and look at the garden and say, well, your tomatoes are doing pretty good. So what's your trick? I don't have any tricks. We just keep doing it until they grow.
You've been very happy with the results that you've been getting since 2005. Just the feedback from your patients.
It's amazing, Tony. Absolutely amazing. Just unbelievable. People who have no idea what I'm doing. And I think about one girl, she was at university and she had these terrible eye infections for years. And we were going off on a camp trip, a poetry camp it was.
Yeah.
And she was all worried she'd forgotten her medicine. So I told her I had this energy, and I put my hands on her for 2 or 3 minutes. She goes, God, Ajahn Tom, your hand's hot. So I held for another minute. And she was like, my eyes are okay. No, I'm not God, I'm not Jesus, I'm just ordinary Ajahn Tom.
Mm-hmm.
But her eyes cleared up, and they've been clear to this day.
Okay. Yeah.
Just belief.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her, I will put my hand to your head, I am Jesus, I will fix you. I just said, hey kid, before we go on our field trip, let me put my hand on your head.
Yeah.
So I didn't set up any sort of belief that I'm this magic healer.
Yeah.
It's just, there is something far beyond human comprehension.
You say in your book that everything is energy. We are energy. Plants, concrete objects are energy, and that's why this healing energy can work. But is that being proved by science? The new discoveries in science?
Going back to E equals mc squared.
Yes.
Energy equals basically everything.
From Einstein, right?
From Einstein,
Yeah.
yes. And quantum physics bears out so much more of this, that human consciousness influences matter. This has been proved with photography and what do you call them, particle circulator things.
Yes.
There's a man from Japan who has photographed the crystals of the water,
Yes.
which human consciousness has said, for example, I love you, I love you, I love you, to this bowl of water.
Yes.
It was then frozen and the crystals were photographed, presenting a very distinct image to, if we said Satan, 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 to another bowl of water.
Yes.
The crystals would be very distorted.
Okay.
So in many, many ways, from many scientists around the world in the last, call it 40 years or so, beyond any doubt, consciousness influences matter. On a more general level, when I smile at you, you smile back.
Yeah.
And if I you do it back to me.
Yeah.
Those are energies.
Okay.
It's coming from our hearts, and people tune into these things.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think is the cause of sickness, Tom?
The cause of sickness, this is
Yes.
really important, because most people think that it's viruses and bacteria. And that may be the case in some places. But the vast majority of things that we have, they come from the mind and from the so-called food that we put in our bodies. I mean, if you live on a steady diet of beef, pork, chicken, beef all your life, and at 39 years old you come and say, well, I'm really constipated. Oh, surprise, surprise. It's the human body cannot digest that much meat that well for that long without getting constipated. And so you have the incidence of cancer, colon cancer in this case, building up because there's so many pollutants in there. So it's poor diet.
Yeah.
Or if you compare that with a vegetarian who exercises all the time, meditates all the time, goes running at the park, swims regularly, and gets along well with the family, you're going to have a lot less disease.
Yes. So you're saying that lifestyle is
Absolutely.
the cause of a lot of sicknesses.
Absolutely.
And actually, I think modern medicine is saying the same thing now. I think
They're starting to believe that.
Yes. I think I was talking to a doctor a little while ago who said that 2/3 of today's sicknesses are caused by lifestyle.
And the other third is caused by pharmaceuticals.
Okay. Well,
And I'm not exaggerating.
okay, we can get into that a little later, Tom, but we're going to take a quick break now and then come back. And when we come back, Tom will actually give me a Reiki session and we'll see how it works. Thank you.
Thank you.